Underdog Daily, the BadgeBros, Jon and Nez takes, as in Nez takes another crown, as in Nez takes more money out of the prize pool, as in Nez is taking more money out of my pocket and lining his own by way of his inept ability to draft the best hoop players this year. Truly been an incredible season for my guy Nez. Really looking forward to walking through that one before we jump into football. Nez, how you doing, bro? How you doing, champ?
Hello. Doing well, man. It was a very fun night. I honestly did not think I had a shot at first for a while.
You're full of it. You're
No,
full of it. You know why you're full of it? Because in the Discord you sent
well,
that lineup.
I know I sent it, but before that, I thought I was toast. The slate started off so clumsy. It was really bad. Like really slow start, and then I found that lineup. I was just PMR searching. Which lineup is green and has a big white bar under it, and I found that one.
Yeah.
And the whole meme is solving X, solving Y. So I was like, yeah, I solved it. Solved the Tuesday tip off, and sure enough, I did solve the Tuesday tip off. Shout out to PJ Washington, who's just playing out of his mind right now.
Dude, there is something poetic about it being PJ Washington that got you home, because we were the only two guys on planet Earth that came on this show after that trade last year and said, this is a great trade for them. This is a perfect fit. We saw PJL before PJL even became PJL, and no one else in the industry said anything good about that trade.
That still is like the most perplexing reaction I've ever seen to a trade was that one, but I digress. PJ was hooping last night, man. I mean, some of his takes to the rack and and his clutch shooting was just so impressive. He's been so huge for the Mavericks this year, and will be a big part of why they're contenders in the West. But it's gonna be a tough West. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's okay. I want to talk to two things there. I want to talk through how the PJ stuff was a big part of your portfolio, because it turned out to be one of the best late round picks there. Some teams had George fall later than that, or Josh Hart in the last round seemed like a good pick from yesterday. Those were kind of my two favorites, and I was over the field on those ones, but I didn't get a ton of the PJ stuff. Just I didn't see the same picture. I played a lot of Kyrie, but that was like a leverage off of my SGA stance. So I doubled down on my SGA stance by being like, if it's not Luka night, maybe it's Kyrie night. Maybe I should have been mixing some more PJ stuff there, but it wouldn't have mattered without Luka last night. But just thinking through the PJ stuff, because we had Q tags on Clay, but we thought he was going to come back, a little bit of restriction, and we had Q tags on Lively and stuff like that. What led you to the PJ?
I just knew that I needed to mix up my 6-round picks in these drafts. I was doing I can't remember
Said
exactly.
So yesterday on the show.
Yeah.
It was your last words on the show.
I mean, it was tough because I knew I was getting a lot of I can't remember exactly who was a common 6-round pick for me, but toward the end of my run, I had a lot of Desmond Bane, right? Desmond Bane put up 31. That's not going to cut it. But and then I was like, I need to mix this up. So I made PJ Washington player 31 for me in a lot of my auto drafts, and ended up getting 19 shares of PJ, which is 12% on the slate, which honestly is below average, because 16%. But maybe when it comes to an undrafted player like PJ, a lot of the time it's above average. But yeah, I talked about that game a lot. I was very passionate about that game. On the Jaw side, which Jaw did outperform his projection by a couple fantasy points, so got home there. But yeah, I just knew that game was going to be a very, very fun, exciting game. Honestly, man, that lineup doesn't get home if KD doesn't get hurt. So
Book was playing well, and a lot of models had Book over Fam's last update of the unabated stuff yesterday had Booker ahead of KD anyways. So I mean, yeah, does it obviously help his his usage and his handling and his whatever. We've had this evergreen conversation about the Suns, how it's tough to play all four. But I mean, so much has to break right on any given slate for you to get home. So it doesn't really matter, right?
I guess. Yeah, just a fun night, man. What sealed it was there was like a driving kick from Luka to PJ, top of the three, and that's what sent it home. For me. That was exciting because like Mavs were going on this like awesome run. They were 3% chance to win in like the middle of the fourth quarter last night, and then came back and won. So that whole like storming back into the game was like huge. It's the only reason I got first last night. So like the passion of the crowd because they were in Dallas, coupled with my excitement because I was sweating in real time. That was cool.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, that makes the experience so good. Nez, I know what the people want right now, man. I know what they want me to do right now for you.
Can't do it, John.
They want me to make it official, man. They want me to make it official. I have no say in the matter. I have no say in the matter. Can't do it, bro. Can't do it. It was only 9K. It was only 9K.
Don't soil the winner's circle, man. We all know the rules. It has to be a 5K victory. Or five figure victory. You can't put me in there. Cannot put me in there.
High quality production. You know it, baby. Oh man.
Expect nothing less around here.
I think he can execute the bit. Takes me a minute, boys. It takes me
a
minute. Oh man. Lots of congrats going down in the chat from you. This is a funny callback to yesterday, man. Taylor Jenkins made me homeless after yesterday saying he's either gonna build me a house or make me homeless. Yeah, dude. So
man good. Was anti-Jenkins, I thought, but regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the LOL hoops here, Eggers, like kind of in the same camp as you here. Had a ton of PG. He was my highest owned yesterday, and then had a ton of book. And yeah, I had a losing night as well there. We got 269 from our guy, the emo cowboy Tyler. Big shout outs. Thank you for supporting the cause out here. One thing I wanted to touch on before we dive into, we're gonna do this as like Dog Bowl. There's going to be a lot of Dog Bowl talk this week because it is the focal point of our existence. We are so excited for it. Underdog released a hype video. They just recirculated a hype video from last year. Got me buzzing again about it. We got our details package with like the itinerary and stuff to break it all down. So now we know where we're going, what we're doing. It sounds like it's going to be top shelf, and didn't expect anything less from Underdog. But now that it's all in paper in front of us, I'm getting really excited here. Nez, it's gonna be a fun time. The only way it could have been better is if one of us might have a shot at the crown this weekend. But
I know, yeah. I know. Condolences, to the fellow participants that didn't make it this season. Along, with myself, we're over here patting our backs and licking our wounds. But for those that did make it, I'm super excited for it, man. It's gonna be just such an awesome experience, and I'm stoked for the participants that qualified because man, it's truly something to be experienced.
Yeah, for sure. I want to hit on this. So the big one's asking when Dog Bowl. This is definitively what's going to be going down. Friday night show, 4 guests, me, Nez, Pete, and 4 community member guests who are participants, and then maybe some drop throughs of some people hanging out and whatever. It's going to be a fun, chill version of our Off and On the Clock show. We'll talk about the slate. We'll do some pick'ems. We'll try and do some drafts. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to do that one on Friday night. Then on Saturday is the actual event and the drafts and that sort of stuff. We'll try and provide some content throughout, maybe some short videos, maybe some just on our Twitter feeds, that sort of thing. So follow the BadgeBros, follow Nez Takes, follow Roto Run on Twitter, follow Pete. Obviously, you guys are all doing that. Do that sort of thing. We'll be, pumping out little snippets of behind the scene. Then we'll reconvene Sunday morning before the actual sweat event where everybody's getting together to watch the games and that sort of thing. We'll reconvene and we will do a show just kind of lay of the land. These were the teams drafted. These are some of our favorites. These people have the highest EV going into the event. Do some bullshit like that. Have some fun. Maybe we do some pick 'em higher, lower drafts, second team finishing 30th or 30th.5 or whatever. Like, just have some fun associated with that. And then as far as live stream from the event and that sort of thing, I do not definitively know. We did kind of a janky version last year. The internet wasn't amazing, so we just set a laptop up in the corner and we're refreshing the scoring leaderboard for other people to play along at home. That one hasn't been fully ironed out yet, but we're talking about it right now, and I'm sure we'll have something, or in real time we'll be kind of updating people on what lineups are doing well and that sort of thing. Have all the draft boards published so people can follow along at home. Okay, anything else to add to that, Nez?
Nope. Very well said. Very well summarized. That's the plan.
All right, beautiful. One more I wanted to hit on before the start here is Austin is hanging out in the chat. He asked 5 or 6 times here about Eliminator payouts and such. Evergreen reminder on the site that if you've been paid out for previous rounds, that you're going to see a number that says like, oh, I'm supposed to get 400, but you've already been paid out at other intervals and you won't get that full 400. But if he's asking when Eliminator payouts are coming for week 14, so week 14, if you are a top 5 in your group here, there will be 460 entries advancing to the following week, which would put you in the prize pool bracket of this $200 here. I imagine it's had some of that already paid out, so it'll amount to 200 total after this week if you are to push through. Anything else to add to that one, Nez?
No, I just don't know the exact number.
Okay, yeah, I don't know the exact number offhand as well, but if you suss through this, they got all the rules and all the stuff up here, and you can kind of do the math on the back end. Yeah, for week 13, because it's a little rollover today. Okay, I got you. I have no definitive answer for you, Austin, like right now. I sent in, or Nez sent a message to Numi there. If they have a more accurate one for you, I'm sure we'll get it to you soon. But if you're worried about advancements or something like that, and they haven't advanced, don't. It'll be coming shortly, I imagine. Okay, Nez, let's talk with like kind of an overarching lens of the football slate. Do our normal like definitive breakdown. I've been in the BR streets a decent amount thus far, as in like, I've done my 5 to 6 to get a feel for the slate. Yeah, but let's do walkthrough of the slate and that sort of thing, but let's kind of do bouncing between both lenses at the same time. You know what I mean? Like a little dog bowl emphasis, a little goal line stand, more emphasis than usual this week. But we'll do game by game and ADP and kind of bounce back and forth between the two. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, cool, bro. I'm going to bring up the unabated odds tab. Oh, this is a new thing that they've done. I have to confirm what chairs are now. And I got it wrong.
Oh, this fucking guy.
This would be a good bit for everybody to be watching in real time, but I can't subject myself to it.
John needs the projections and the S words to tell him what a chair is. He can't just like he can't hand build a chair out of a CAPTCHA.
Dude, I went 0 for 2 on the first CAPTCHAs.
Oh my god, bro. Do you need help? Pull it up. Pull it up on the screen. Let's help you out, man.
Holy smokes, that's good.
Yeah, he made it. There you go.
Oh my god. He has made it. All right, man. Macro view of the slate right now. Some decent implied game totals where the vast majority are falling between that 44 and 46. The biggest one of the weekend is actually that Thursday night game that we talked a little bit about on Monday there. But man, there's a bunch of 44s, a bunch of 46s. There's a couple what we deem circle your calendar games. I would imagine here. I think that basketball. That Bills Rams one stands out a little bit to me, but there's also a lot of spots where you could be like, I just want to play one side of this ball game, and I have no idea what to do with the other side of the ball game. And I think that's the 101 precursor for these first two games on the slate in particular, where it's like we tried to do the Jets thing last week. It kind of worked a little bit, kind of. I don't know. They rotated the backs more heavily than usual. We tried to do the Miami thing. It kind of worked, but wasn't enough to win the Thanksgiving slate, even though Tua had a decent, last couple drives there to salvage the fantasy scores. Yeah, man, there's just a lot of, outside of like the first like 4 picks in drafts, there's a whole lot of like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do, man. And I think because of that, a lot of people are going to fall back on the knowledge of others. And I think that's going to lend a lot of people to making these decisions predicated on what like ETR tells them to do, or, like that sort of thing. That's my initial read on it. I kind of hope you have something similar, but what's yours, dude?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's like, the first 12 picks, you could call it. Maybe you could stretch it to 18 picks where like, it seems pretty easy. Yeah, these guys I would expect to score a lot of fantasy points.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, man, I feel like it's really tough for me to parse through this slate. I'm glad I don't have to make these decisions under pressure like these dog bowl dudes do, because man, I'm sort of lost.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not seeing this slate with the sharpest eye right now.
Yeah, dude, I agree with you, and I think that's what's alluding in the chat right now. Nicholas saying like, yeah, man, it seems like a great week for BRs and some interesting early week scrolls, and I fully agree. My first couple BRs, man, I was doing like, some Jameis double bullshit, and I was doing, some scroll the F down to Geno and stuff. But when I'm sitting in the dog bowl for 200K and I got 3 bullets or whatever, I don't know. How comfortable am I going to be building 2 teams with QB 13 instead of Josh Allen after we just saw a complete smash spot from him in a 50-point total in a dome against the Rams beat up defense that he could really take advantage of on the ground? Like, like it puts you in some uncomfortable spots, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would do Josh Allen that high this week. Okay. But I can understand it. Like the placement of him in ADP makes sense because it does feel like there is a very strong top 3, top 4. So like, and next up, the most comfortable click is Josh Allen. Right. I can understand why he's up there because he's comfortable, but I don't think that he's necessarily like the correct pick at pick 4, which is where he is right now.
Yeah, which is a crazy thing to say. Like, we've been longtime proponents of, high ADP quarterbacks in the BRs are instant fades for us. But yeah, just given the comfortability of clicks on this slate, I can see why people are doing it as of right now. Yeah. Let's talk about just macro game environments here, Nez. Anything else that's jumping out to you? Like we had that Seahawks Cardinals game 2 weeks ago with the Cards coming out of the bye. But it was in Seattle. Now we got it in the Dome. Is it reason to get excited about that one? Yeah, right. It's perfectly articulated.
I don't think so. I mean, shout out Sam Hoppin on Twitter. We're always pulling up his graphics and stuff. The Seahawks, and I believe, shout out Mike McDonald. Like they're just like they're really good at limiting like explosive plays right now, which is really why you're not seeing like awesome Seahawks games like I was sort of been expecting all season. Haven't really seen that. And the total in the Dome 44. So like, it's like the daughter like walking her grandma on the sidewalk. Like back in my day, like these NFC West games used to shoot out. Like, hey grandma, like let's go to bed. Like
nice.
Yeah, it's just unfortunately just like it's not an environment that is this should be jumping off the page to us, and it's not, and it shouldn't. But yeah, back in my day it did. So it's a bummer. I guess just a macro, dude. Like my favorite game is without question, Bucks Raiders. Like that's the
All
fucking
right.
game. That's the game.
Okay, you think what we saw last week from AOC against a good defense, throwing for over 300 yards, kind of the breakout of the Trey Tuckers of the world, the sincere McCormick, balling out a little bit, much to the chagrin of our pick'em on off and on the clock. There, we were 6 Amir Abdullah receiving yards away from taking down a five leg like 30xer or 26xer or something that we built on Friday morning there. So shout out us on the directionally accurate 4 for 5. But yeah, so walk me through that one, man. Baker got banged up. Baker got banged up last week, left for a little bit. He was nursing the ankle. But yeah, walk me through this one.
He's good to go this week. So I'd like, it's not a concern for me. And I wouldn't reduce my excitement to like sincere McCormick.
No, of course. I just had to work the pick 'em in somehow.
No, dude. AOC is maybe he's good, maybe he's not. But like, I think the Raiders have something here with AOC. I mean, bad quarterbacks don't just like come out and throw for over 200 yards as often as AOC does on a team like the Raiders, where like, yeah, they have good receivers. But like even dating back to last year, this dude was consistently throwing for 200 plus yards. They come back last week, has a nice game, 240 yards last game.
It was like 300.
340 rather.
Yeah,
340 against the Chiefs. Like this dude was fucking slinging that shit. And now he gets the Bucks, a softer matchup. It's outside in Tampa, but it's going to be nice weather. They're going to probably have to throw the ball again, right? I think the Bucks, just as good of an offense as the Chiefs, maybe a little better. This game should be a lot of fun, man. I'm really excited to see AOC in a pass happy game script do what he did last week. He's definitely going to be one of my highest exposed players this week.
I like it, dude. I like that a lot because I think we just found our slopping up of the week. I think we found our slopping up.
This is too nice to be slopping up, brother. This is 46 total.
But almost everything's 46 this week. 43.5, 44, 45.5, 46, 44.5.
Oh, you can get sloppier than this, man. We can get sloppier than this.
Touch. I've lost my confidence, Nez. You're the only one producing winning screenshots out here. I'm shook. I've lost my confidence. I can't.
Yeah, man. Baker.
That's true. Dude, he's top 3 or top 5 in the league in touchdown passes right now.
I mean, he's lighting it up, man. I mean, we can figure out slop it up, but Bears Niners is officially in slop it up territory.
Wow, that's crazy to say.
It has to be like a lower total,
All right. Yeah, I just look at the teams. I look at Bears Niners and I'm like, they're not slop worthy. We thought they were good.
Yeah, but now we don't.
Oh shoot. All right, let's talk about Jets and Dolphins here. Tua with that ADP of 3, Tyreek up there in that 17-ish range. Waddle's kind of buried. Achane goes in the first round. Not sure what to do with the Jets pieces, but Brees finds his way to like a 5th round pick in almost every single battle royale right now. We've been the ones to poo-poo on the Jets defense since the Robert Saleh, flippening there. So I don't know, man. Can we buy into what Miami's kind of done the last 3 weeks? They were on a little bit of a win streak. Then it doesn't come to fruition for them against the Packers, but they still, Tua in particular, still put up some fantasy points there. I think I had one in my notes before, and my notes are on my phone and my phone's elsewhere. Ian Harditz had a tweet that was Jonathan Taylor fantasy points juxtaposed to Devin Achane fantasy points receiving only. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, PPR. But I thought it was pretty cool just in terms of stackability for Tua. Like, do we have Tua's new favorite stacking partner is actually Achane? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just for that conversation. Yeah. Anyways, I've spoke too much. Tell me some knowledge. about Jets Dolphins here.
Yeah, this is definitely like another very much priority target for me this week in goal line stands. Jalen Waddle, came back down to earth after that New England game. But Packers, man, Packers are just a good team. And cold weather, say what you will, but like that's a good team. Against the Jets, division rival. There's no love lost here in Miami. Jets stink. This is going to be, I think, an ass whooping on the Jets by the hands of Miami. I mean, it's a 6-point spread, so not necessarily making bold claims here, but I think that this is a beatdown, and Tua QB3 right now, absolutely deserved. Absolutely deserved. I mean, ever since he's come back, man, he's done nothing but put up 20 plus points for fantasy,
which is very interesting. It's very interesting because last year the whole narrative with Miami was like, hey, pair HN and Hill together, pair HN and Waddle together. You don't need Tua. You can find the points somewhere else. And now the narrative this year is pair HN and Tua together. It's very, very different. Gotta kill some of our priors. Some more shout outs to the chat for your bink last night. Yeah, primetime Nez. Nez was, if you guys were watching the paywall yesterday, everyone in the chat was like, Nez is spitting fire and dunking all over the models right now. And then Nez backed it up with a 9K win last night. So yeah, that was Nez's, I'm not even gonna say flu game because he came in so hot.
Yeah, I wish it was a jaw team for sure, but no, I was definitely on one yesterday. Part of these games, man, not even just NBA, but in NFL, you have to see things that just aren't there. Right. You have to be, like everybody says, skating to where the puck's going. But what if you don't even know where the puck's going? Like you just need to find answers that just, you can't really be deciphered beforehand. But yeah.
Well, there's also one wrinkle to it, and I like the hockey analogy there because obviously puck guy. But the thing is, like, if everyone's skating to where they think the puck's going, and everybody's so effing certain that the puck is going there, there's so much more value in moving elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
A couple things from the chat I want to hit on. Steven suggesting another one of ththose stacking partners being Jonnu. Yeah, we'll talk through Jonnu when we get to the tight ends. I guess we shouldn't have glossed over him in this situation. 11 targets in back-to-back games there. He's been absolutely cooking. I think he's been tight end one in fantasy outside of Taysom over the last 5 weeks, something like that.
He's so good, man. He's so good. And I feel like, there's no point in taking Jonnu victory laps, even though I do have 20% of them in BBM. No big deal.
Okay, relax, man. Take it easy on everyone. You took 9K last night. Now you're dunking Jonnu shares on us. I'm fucking sitting right here, Nez.
Yeah, dude. Jonnu's just a grown ass man, but it just made a lot of sense. It just made a lot of sense. It took him a little bit for come along, but I mean, also Tua was out for majority of the season, but like he's a weapon. He's a weapon. Yeah. We've seen it since he was a Titan. Saw it in Atlanta.
Can we stop dunking on Arthur Smith? Because this is another coaching staff in a row that can't find, good shit for Kyle Pitts. And they were playing Jonnu over him all last year. And we're screaming from the rooftops, why aren't they playing Kyle Pitts? And now you see Jonnu balling out with a different coaching staff in another scheme. And you're seeing Kyle Pitts flop again. And it's like, oh, fuck. Maybe these coaches do know ball.
I mean, Arthur could have been a little more graceful about his press conferences, so he's still a prick for that stuff. But yeah, I mean, we definitely owe apologies for wondering why Jonnu Smith is getting usage. It's because he's a good football player.
Right. Yeah. That's perfectly articulated. Juice McCaffrey, we're going to save this one a little bit. We're going to talk specifically the difference between 36 team format last year and then 108 this year, because everybody has 3 bullets instead of 1. We're going to do some of that deep dive stuff with Pete on Friday. We're kind of keeping it close to our vest. Although I will tell you guys, the number one thing in which I would do research-wise right now, Nez, is I would go back. We have had this contest at least 9 to 10 weeks of this season already. We have had this contest. The flea flicker $75, the flea flicker $50. Go back and look at what kind of teams won those contests. Look at the results of those contests, because we had iterations of the 108 entry, the 110 entry, 12-person drafts. Go look at the double stacks that took those down. Go look at, the propensity of bringbacks in certain lineups. Go look at the implied team totals and game totals of the teams that took down those slates. That would be my number one beacon of research. And Nez, that was the last contest I won on the platform. Actually, I won a hoops one. I won a hoops one before, but after that, actually. But that was one of the most recent football contests I took down on the platform. So many are saying that my takes for the Dawg Bowl are in their finest form right now. They are primed.
Wow. Now you're the one that should be talking about this, dude, not me. I'm just gonna mute my mic. Scott
telling you that you are absolutely crushing it on the leaderboard there. 1,000 points over second place on his proprietary software. We're going to walk through that one tomorrow. Very special edition of the show. Tomorrow, we're going to walk through Scott's tools. Yeah, very excited to talk about that. Chad, you got to see me this weekend, buddy. None of that. Hey, none of that. Actually, the 2 slates I've won this year are double dupe trades.
Oh man, better. I mean, profit's profit, John.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. That's not when your brand is scrolling.
That's true.
All right, Nez, let's talk about the Falcons and Vikings here. This is the Kirk Cousins revenge game. Kirk Cousins coming off one of the worst games any quarterback's ever played, but most appropriately the worst game that he's played this year. I think it was 3 or 4 interceptions there. Yeah, man, they're still in it for this division. They're kind of like battling with the Bucs and stuff. Bucs are closing in kind of deal. People, I don't know. Are they calling for Michael Penix? I don't think you can do it to him I don't think you can do it to Cousins in a revenge game here after you gave him the contract, yada, yada. But if this one goes south, I think we could see Michael Penix in the future here. We saw kind of Justin Jefferson come back to life, 9-target game there, almost got to that 100-yard threshold there, 99 yards for him. Bijan's been absolutely cooking irregardless of game script there. And then we saw the Aaron Jones fumbles come back to life there. Aaron Jones has been bad inside the goal line and looks a little banged up to me. But yeah, anyways, what do we think about this one?
Definitely really like this game, but the Vikings defense is, it's for real, and it's going to be tough for our Falcons to make some noise here. But I think this is still a game where you want to get to Bijan. Like I have Bijan 4 in my ranks. I'm trying to get to Bijan every which way because he's the only way that they get anything done. Hopefully the ground game gets going, but if not, like it's Bijan in the passing game as well. I mean, Cousins is cooked, dude. Cousins is fucking cooked.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some stuff in the chat here that start Penix right now. We're seeing that his arms hurt, no velocity on these passes.
Dude, did you see that? There's a viral tweet going around right now, and it's funny. I can't even quote it verbatim, but I can paraphrase. Did you see the pick that Cousins threw? To the right side, like short side.
I'm sure I did, but I don't vividly recall it right now.
The tweet that I'm paraphrasing is he threw him a paper plane.
Nice.
I mean, just like it's like a circle change right to the cornerback. It's bad, and you look at the numbers too; they're bad. Kirk Cousins has one game, John, one game with an ADOT over 10.
Wow,
just nothing, and they have good receivers. They have Michael Pitts, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Darnell Mooney. These are downfield receivers.
Right.
I mean, London can do it all, man. London, like free London, dude. I'm telling you, free London. We're going to get an awesome discount on him next season. Free Drake London.
They did have one drive. Sorry, Nez. They had one drive last game with Drake London where he basically didn't have anything going, and the offense had nothing going, and they just peppered him like 3 or 4 times in a row.
He had 13 targets last week, I think. It's insane. So the problem here is like Vikings defense is good. So what can we 16 targets for London, my fault. So what can we like realistically expect from these Falcons? And I don't really know what to expect other than like I think that it's the London and Bijan show regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Lions side, sorry, got NFC North on the brain. On the Vikings side of things, though, it's I mean the field knows it, but I mean, do they? ADP 7 for Jettas. It's got to be Jetta season at some point, right? We almost saw it last week. 99 yards, almost got to 100, but it's got to be Jetta season here. No pressure on Darnold. I mean, the Falcons just do not get pressure on quarterbacks. It's their goal to not pressure the quarterback. Got to be able to find Jettas in this spot here, and they have one of the highest implied team totals on the slate. You got to love it here. If not Jettas, then it's got to be Addison or Hawk here, because like you said, I think Aaron Jones is banged up, and it would make sense, right? He's been healthy all season, quote unquote healthy, meaning he's played a lot of football this season, and he's typically not carrying the workload that he is in Minnesota. That's why, in Green Bay, they totally understood what to do with Aaron Jones, which is to, work him in and keep the snap shares low. He's an older back, it's the wear and tear, the war of attrition of an NFL season. I truly do think that there's something up with Aaron Jones. That said, if the work's going to be there, we can bank, like a Kareem Hunt type game, like your boy, from Aaron Jones, where he is finding the end zone twice, getting enough usage regardless that he is doing work. But like the Vikings are just an easy team to just type in the search bar and draft whoever's available if you don't know who to take in these drafts.
Okay. Yeah, no, I respect everything that you said there. The one thing with the Bijan stuff that I'm really intrigued to see is how much he's docked in a DVP manner in terms of projection this week, just because the Vikings have been like the 101 most stout against the ground. But then we said the same thing last week where who was number 2 against the run? The Ravens. Oh, and they're a pass funnel. And the Eagles just came out and were like, nope, we run the football. Our line's good. Here's 33 carries down your throat from our 2 best players. And they found success doing it. So maybe with the ineptitude of Kirk Cousins in recent weeks and how well Bijan's been playing, they just stand their ground and go, yeah, we're just going to run it down your throat and try our best to do so. So I'd be very interested to see how that one plays out. But I do think he's game script proof at this point, so it doesn't particularly matter. It's just how he gets there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Bijan, I would not be fading Bijan Robinson. I don't, especially on a slate like this. There's not a lot of great running back plays. I don't know how you fade Bijan here.
All right, cool. Saints and Giants up next there. Nez, 41 total. Saints favored in this ball game. We're going to get Drew Lock again there. Courtesy of JJ's data dump there. Malik Neighbors hasn't had a receiving touchdown since week 3. I want to say it was in my notes. It was 3 or 6, one of the two. But he still maintained that streak that Underdog keeps tweeting out there. The 5+ catches and 50+ yards, 9+ targets in most of those affairs. Saints are going to be returning 2 offensive linemen and no Taysom Hill. And they're going up against a run defense that's missing Dexter Lawrence now. This looks like an Alvin Kamara spot, but ADP reflects that with the 2 overall there. You called MVS, the poor man's Rashid Shaheed here in recent memory, Nez, and he gets home again last week. Can we find any love for anything there? And then Tyrone Tracy, man, he was punished a little bit for the fumble in the previous game. On the Thanksgiving one, they come out, they give Singletary the early work, but then he still found his way to 9 carries and got the goal line carry for the touchdown there. A lot of words, but what do you think about this ballgame?
Yeah, I mean, Alvin Kamara easily the 102. I don't know. You can do Achane. Sure, I think you can argue Achane as the higher ceiling, but with no Taysom in town, like you just got to go Kamara. You just got to go Kamara. The projection is going to be out of this world good. It'll probably be better than Achan. Yeah, he's just an absolute smash. And I think for the Vikings ancillary pieces here, or I'm sorry, the Saints ancillary pieces here. MVS, I still like. I'm not drafting, but like maybe you can do some pick'ems with MVS later in the week. But I mean, I think Juwan Johnson gets a bump, right? 7 targets last week, 5 receptions.
Good show.
I mean, I know him and Taysom. I don't do the nitty gritty stuff on this, but like they don't seem like they overlap to me. So it's not like a huge bump necessarily that Taysom is gone, but that's just usage in general, obviously. In the offense, that's gone. Juwan Johnson's probably their most talented pass catcher right now. I mean, he's tight end 14. Tight end 14 on the slate. I disagree with that.
Yeah, no, I like that show for the Dog Bulls and the 12 persons in particular. Shout out our guy Joka, a participant last year who's trying to fill a goal line stand. Right now, one more in the goal line stand there. Fill that bad boy up. We'll be hopping in momentarily. I do think, there's still Foster Moreau there and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, Taysom had 4 catches, 2 catches, 8 catches the bye week, and then 5 catches. So, I mean, the kids in the industry call them vacated targets, Nez. So, maybe some of those funnel Juwan Johnson's way there. We saw Dante Pettis, find a little 2-point conversion there. Good UW boy. Had to get that name out there off my chest. But yeah, they are thin at the wide receiver position. I do think the majority of this offense will funnel through Juwan Johnson and Alvin Kamara, man.
So do you know who ran the second most routes for the Saints wide receivers?
Second most routes, Saints wide receivers. I would say Cedric Wilson.
No, John.
Okay, who did?
The notes here say Kevin Austin.
Never fucking heard of him, pal.
Kevin Austin. 56% of routes. Good for you, Kevin.
Knock off Calvin Austin. I've never heard of Kevin Austin. I will admit that. Dude, I like to say that we know ball and we can go deep in the bullpens. We can go deep to the 9th man of the rotations of the NBA. We can even note some offensive linemen at times out here. We know ball, Nez, but we do not know Kevin Austin.
I do not know Kevin Austin levels of ball. That is that would be disturbing to know that. But he's back to the practice squad, may get called back up. Not in my player pool, but like just a hilarious note, man, because the Saints are always trotting out like, guy like just the fringe of fringe players at wide receiver.
That's pretty funny. Miles chiming in said the dude looked good. He's tall and fast. Vacated targets reminds him of Alan Lazard in 2022. That's a perfect vacated targets guy.
Yeah. I mean, 6'2", 200 pounds, Notre Dame fighting Irishman.
Yeah. Chad saying, speaking of Alan Lazard, is that an IR nugget coming off right now?
Yeah, he's designated for practice.
Nice. Okay, good to know just in terms of rotational stuff with scroll the F down Jets wide receivers. All right, Nez, let's move on here. Browns and your beloved Steelers. Steelers had some difficulties. We talked about it the other day. JPJ had some difficulties with T. Higgins there with the flags, clutching and grabbing there. Maybe dealing a little tough with some of these bigger bodied wide receivers, that sort of thing. We saw Jameis come out and have, we said the stat yesterday. What did I say? 450 plus yards and 4+ touchdowns. There's only 2 men in NFL history to do it 3 times. It is Jameis Winston and it is Peyton Manning. So some esteemed company there. Russell Wilson's greatest passing game of his career last time out. I mean, I want to believe in what we saw last week, Nez, with both of these offenses, and then them come into this game and do it versus one another. But then living rent-free in the back of my head is this classic, AFC North, they're going to go in here, smash mouth football. It's going to be 16-13, and it's going to play like we saw that Steelers-Ravens game play a couple weeks ago. What are your macro thoughts on this one, dude?
I mean, Jameis is just the gift that keeps on giving, John. And
I
part of
know,
that
man.
gift is, the markets, as you see here, just not knowing how to properly price these games that Jameis plays in, because he just sends shit off the rails. I think this game goes over 44.5 for sure.
Yeah.
This game's gonna be awesome. And for my money, I think Judy's a different challenge than T. Higgins, but I still think they're going to go off. Did you see Tomlin's quote about T. Higgins?
No.
This is per Alan Saunders on Twitter. He said, "When we play Shaq, we're going to use our fouls."
That's sick, dude. That literally that quote right there, that quote alone just got T. Higgins like an extra $5 million in his contract this offseason.
Easily.
Yeah. Levitan was talking about it on the solo. I listened to it when I was coming home last night, and he was talking about, or maybe it's, anyways, who cares? But Lever Silva said it in one of those two episodes I was listening to on the way home last night, and they were just talking about, how T. Higgins might sit, the remainder of the game, like college football style, where it's like, oh, I'm skipping the bowl game because we got in the Holiday Bowl and it doesn't matter, that sort of thing. Man, if I was T. Higgins and I saw what happened to Brandon Ayuk, I saw what's happened to other guys in the past here, dude, I'd for sure sit. I mean, call me soft as hell, but I'd fucking for sure sit and secure generational wealth for my family these last couple games.
I think I would forfeit the probably. I mean, is it even like $1 million based on what his contract is? I'm sure it's like a few million, but I would probably forfeit
3 or
it
4 in game. In game checks, because that.
Because the Bengals are probably not going to re-sign you, right? They're notoriously, broke boys over there. So you might as well just kind of say fuck it. I think. I mean, I don't know. I'm with Lev on that one. Go ahead.
Sorry, he's playing on a 4-year 8.6 right now that had 5 guaranteed early. It's still a rookie deal. So he got franchise tagged this year for 21. So I don't know how that.
One thing, I don't know how the service time works in the NFL, but I'm assuming that he can do it.
Oh, dude, it's guaranteed at signing. Franchise tags are guaranteed at signing.
Yeah, but to complete the tag, it's like, do you have to play those games if you're physically able to play?
Right. Yeah.
Or is he gonna fake an auntie funeral or something? I don't know. But sorry, guys. Yeah, I can't play. I'm really upset about
old Aunt Sue.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm down in the dumps right now. I can't play personal reasons. Not to make light of any personal reasons, but is he gonna come up with something? Anyways.
Dude, this is true too. Jump Free said they could franchise again either way. That's crazy, man.
One more time they can?
I guess.
That's a joke.
Yeah, I thought it was one and done on franchise tags.
I mean, I know that I mean, Saquon was a possible second-year franchise tag, so
it'd be so expensive to franchise tag him again though, because you go through the negotiation process, and then there's probably a bump, and then there'll be a bump relative to cap next year. It'd be like $28 million to franchise tag him or something insane, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyways, dude, this Steelers game should be good. I think hard not to love Pickens here. Wide receiver 8, everybody else loves him too. Russ, QB 6, everybody loves Russ. Najee's the best value in this game. Running back 14. I mean, dude touched the ball 22 times against the Bengals, 18 times against the Browns, 22 times against the Ravens. He's the RB1. There is no 1A. He's the RB1 in Pittsburgh. The Browns are just not that good of a defense. That's part of why these games are so much fun. I have respect for the Broncos, and Broncos did a lot of pick sixing and whatnot, but Broncos had no problem doing what they wanted to. Jaleel McLaughlin was running all over these Broncos. I mean, Browns. Jaleel McLaughlin. He's 5-0.
Hey, shout out to us for winning the pick'em with Jaleel McLaughlin sliders. Boom.
Yeah. So I love these. I love Pickens and Najee here. Fryermuth, that's a little bit tougher for me to get to. He did have a nice game against the Bengals. But yeah, this should be a fun game, dude.
I respect it. Anyone in the Browns backfield that you want to get to? Like Nick Chubb, man, like he scored touchdowns and he's scored touchdowns each week. A receiving one this last week. Man, this under 3 yards per carry looks a little cooked right now.
Yeah, don't love it. Don't love it for my guy Nick Chubb. So no thank you on him. I think they're gonna have to pass the ball anyways. So does that mean Jerome Ford music? Not necessarily for drafts, but I don't know. He's getting worked in because Nick Chubb does not have the juice. It's really sad.
Yeah. A little more context to that T. Higgins franchise tag conversation we were having there. The tag gets more expensive with each use as a player is guaranteed at least 120% of the previous year's salary when tagged a second time. So that would put him at like the $25 million as a base next year, fully guaranteed at signing. And then they would also have the freedom based on the cap to push that number north a little bit, right? Because if the cap goes up and the franchise tag reflects more of the cap relative to position, yada, yada, that, I mean, they could find themselves to like, 26, 27 with that number. And there'd be no reason to franchise tag them at that, right? Google machine says 26 mil. Yeah. That checks out. That's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy that the team has so much control, though, just by the power of the draft, man. Like, just by drafting this dude, they can take 6 years of him, like, no matter what. It's crazy.
It's criminal. It's truly criminal.
It fucking is, man. Especially when the average career life is like 2.3 years or whatever.
Yep.
That's fucked. That's crazy. Okay. Anything else on Steelers Browns, or are we clear for liftoff on the true slop it up fest of the year here? Jags Titans, a real Thursday night football matchup coming to the main slate here. Most likely most likely no Trevor Lawrence in this one after the gruesome slide concussion hit that everyone's talking about on the internet there. Dude, Will Levis, when I was going through the waiver wire last night, when I forgot to put in my Isaac Garendo claim in my most expensive league when I had the number 1 waiver, classic John move. I was seeing the old the Yahoos and the ESPNs and these early projections and stuff really popping the Will Levis stuff here. Yeah, interesting. Revenge game for Calvin Ridley here. Tony Pollard obviously had the fumble last week, but had a decent game outside of that. Mixon just ran all over the Jags here. And then we had the Brian Thomas Jr., where Hayden threw out the tweet there where we covered Boydum last week. We really liked it. He ended up getting home like 15, 16 fantasy points like that, scored the touchdown. Mac Jones looked pretty good at the tail end of this ball game when Trevor Lawrence went out. But man, he could have been, as Hayden's tweet alluded to, 6 for 250 and 4 or something with just the air yards alone that just missed the fingertips there. A lot of words. Break it down for me, Nez.
Not a lot of like interest in this game for me.
Okay.
Yeah, Levis has been fine for fantasy. It's not something that like I'm super stoked to get to. And I mean, I probably won't get to him this week. QB16, nobody really is. But I think definitely some Calvin Ridley this week for sure in that spot.
Everybody's going to want to talk about Westbrook Akina, dude.
I know, dude. I know. And like, what do you do? What do you do when a guy is just like
nothing,
running hotter than hell? Like
you just fade. You just fade and go broke. You just never capitulate.
He actually had 7 targets last week, and like, and all the shots are downfield. All the shots are downfield, but like in this game, though, do they really need to take those downfield shots? Like, I don't know, man. It's just a hilarious story. That's really all you can really do is just laugh at the Westbrook Akine run out. Just the run out is just nuts. 2 touchdowns.
Kind of a microcosm. It's a microcosm of how this season's been going, like just in general, fantasy wise.
Yeah, And I do gotta say, dude, Easy's correct.
Mhm.
I think
On what?
the hit. The hit in real time was so fast. Trevor
Yeah.
wasn't down 1 second later, boom, he gets popped. He's coming at a
Right.
guy straight on. He's starting to make the tackle
Yeah.
before Trevor's knee hits the ground. It was a bad play. It was a bad play, but it was unfortunate. Like the guy, I could not believe the pearl clutching over that hit. It was like it was not as bad as people think, man. And people are coming
Yeah.
at this guy. They're coming at
The league.
D'Amico Ryans. They're like,
Yeah.
chill the fuck out. All right, it's
Yeah.
football. It's fucking football. Things. It's a violent sport. There
Mhm.
was. I did not find that to be malicious at all.
Yeah, the toxicity of pile on hive mentality when it comes to like canceling a dude, you know?
No, true. It was truly that type of reaction
Yeah.
to it, and I mean, it looked awful at first, right? I mean, and he's doing the fencing. It looked bad,
Mhm.
but like, come on, bro. I don't think that this guy was trying to murder Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, no, I agree
Anyways, I
with
just
you
had
there.
to. I needed to say that because I
No,
was
get it.
worried. I was
Yeah.
worried I was on an island on that. I didn't want to be the one to say easy saying it for me.
There's a couple things that just rolled through here. We haven't gotten to this game yet, but Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and DeAndre Swift all didn't practice, and Roshan Johnson's still in concussion protocol. So there's a lot of Bears news there. Could all just be, vet rest early in the week after Thanksgiving, after playing a Thursday, yada yada. Your boy Deontay Johnson, who can't find his way on the field anymore. I got to take a victory on that one when we did the latter one there when I said the league thinks he sucks. He got suspended for a game here from the Ravens there. Conduct detrimental to the team. Yeah, there's been a lot of conduct from him detrimental to the team, just standing on the sideline. And then the one that we just glazed over there, yeah, I snuck it in. That we just glazed over with the Browns there is Cedric Tillman. Do we think Cedric Tillman is coming back? He was in concussion protocol, missed the Monday night game there, and he's listed as a DNP on Wednesday thus far. We like to see, a limited today so he can start feeling like start checking the boxes to the 5-step to get back after a concussion there. That one doesn't sound overly bullish right now. So that offense was really nice and condensed for us last week. So if we see a little bit more of that, that makes it even more fun to get to it for the Browns this week.
Yeah, I don't think he plays.
Okay. All right. We talked about Raiders Bucks. Anything else you want to hit on that we might have missed in terms of like just players to target in that one? This was your favorite game on the slate. Anything macro that we might have missed?
No, I just wanted to. We got a further context on this Deontay stuff.
Okay, yeah, let me hear it.
Deontay Johnson was suspended for refusing to enter the game against the Eagles.
Silent protest. They tried to play him, and he's like, "Nah, fuck it, bro."
Once a Steeler, always a Steeler, man. She said, "I'm not fuck this purple and black shit. I'm not playing for you guys."
Oh my god, that's good. Oh shit,
that's amazing.
I mean, the guy was having a nice year early on there with that connection with Andy Dalton and stuff.
John, you can't say that. You want to take your victory lap. Take your victory
lap,
buddy.
I do want to take my victory lap. I do. I really want. I really want to take my. He was having a nice couple weeks. It mixed in there. I do really want it. And it was only because Adam Thielen was out, dude. Once Adam Thielen, they knew he was coming back. He's expendable. Adam Thielen, a true generational talent like Adam Thielen, was going to use.
They're the same players. They're the same players. I have tweets in the chamber, buddy, for that first Deontay Johnson, like 10, 60, and 0 game. I can't wait to let people have it. I can't wait.
Oh, I love it. All right, Nez. Eagles and Panthers. Eagles are going every single draft. Eagles look every bit of a Super Bowl contending team right now. Offensive line looks great. Their ability to run in a terrible run matchup last week looked amazing. And I'd expect to see more of the same again this week because I'm not expecting Dallas Goedert. Got injured last week with the knee there. I'm not expecting Dallas Goedert for this one. And then Devonta Smith was kind of close last week. He teased us with like going through warmups and stuff like that, but the hamstring's been lingering for 2 weeks there. This just feels like, man, Saquon could just go 202 and break the slate all by himself kind of thing. But I think everybody's feeling that way. So how are we approaching this one?
Well, if you're in a draft and you have, the first overall pick, I think you take Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, seems smart.
I mean, there's nothing else to do. Like, I mean, it's the biggest no-brainer pick of all time, dude. And honestly, we said this last year at Dog Bowl. Christian McCaffrey, you want the 101, and Christian McCaffrey didn't pay off. It wasn't who won the Dog Bowl, and he had a pretty bad game. Oh man, dude, how do you beat the Saquon Barkley teams in drafts? This is what I'm telling myself. This is what I'm asking myself when I'm in drafts, man, because Saquon Barkley's coach is a good, my own flesh and blood, Nick Sirianni.
Yep.
And this dude wants Saquon to win MVP so bad.
Oh my God, does he ever?
So bad.
Yeah.
He loves just like doing shit for personal gain, whether it's his personal gain or somebody else's personal gain. He wants to be the head coach of the player that broke the rushing record.
All right. I mean, I'll take it from you. I mean, as the third cousin of Nick Sirianni, I think you got a hand on the friendship, hand on the family right here.
I mean,
I think
just like everything that we have on this guy, press conference wise, coaching decision wise, he's just a fucking dude. I mean, just dumb dick, dude. Just like, I'm gonna run Saquon. Like, he's gonna try to get 300 yards out of Saquon this week.
Okay. All right. Pat asking an interesting question in here. If you think they're up multiple touchdowns, I mean, I will say the Panthers have shown fight, man. The Panthers have shown fight in back-to-back games against two good teams. I think the Panthers could show enough fight again this week that this isn't a question that we're having. I mean, we all expect them to beat the brakes off of them. We all expect them to come out here, run it down their throat, Saquon be the guy. But let's talk about, what are other people not seeing in this game that could give us a little bit of leverage, like Jalen Hurts skinny stacks. Do you like that play this week? Do you think they can win through the air or want to win through the air? What do you think, dude?
Yeah, I think you do Jalen Hurts, potentially just naked Jalen Hurts, and he's soaking up all the touchdowns, and it's his game. Obviously, you can skinny with AJ Brown, but are we going to get Devontae Smith? Who knows? I don't know why they would really try to play him. I mean, they want the bye, and like you said, Panthers have been playing a lot better lately. A lot better. They're huge favorites in this game. The Eagles, obviously, but I don't think anybody's sleeping on the Panthers right now. I mean, they shouldn't be if they are. But yeah, I think
some inspired football, man. Like the defense looks a little better in recent memory. Like they held the Chiefs a little bit in check there for a bit, only 26 points against, that sort of deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you're not a Saquon team, I think, you try to hope that game runs through Hurts and or AJ Brown, because I think they're going to score at will against the Panthers, I think.
Okay. Yeah, no, I respect it, dude. Let's talk about the Seahawks Cards one. You weren't as in love with it as we were alluding to. It's a very important one for divisional rankings, especially after the 49ers lost and the Rams lost. So yeah, you're kind of dealing with like a pretty important game just in terms of like seeding potential. And it's their last matchup versus one another. I talked a little bit about last week how like we'd seen a downtick in James Conner recently, and we've seen an uptick in Seattle's defense there. And then James Conner comes out and gets 17 carries. He didn't do a ton with them, and he gets a new contract. So what the fuck do I know? I thought James Conner they were falling out of love with him a little bit. I thought he was a little banged up, and then he gets the contract extension and 17 touches. So I think if you're just looking for volume in terms of, running backs on the slate relative to ADP, James Conner at like 13, not an amazing spot. It looks like a good click right now. It looks like a safe click right now. If you're just looking for, that 8 to 14 fantasy points with a little bit of ceiling in like the second round, back end second round of Dog Bowl stuff here. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't have like too strong of stances on this game personally,
Okay.
but
Yep.
Connor's usage seems really solid.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Walker's one we got to watch out for
Yeah.
because he got banged up.
Yeah, I'm anticipating early week Q tags when we get the first practice report here for DK and for Ken Walker, who both limped off the field at different moments. The Ken Walker one, I agree with you, looked a little bit worse. Sharps ended up finding the end zone after, I believe, like one drive later, I think it was. Yeah, he had four carries and had the goal line touchdown. So yeah, I'm in lockstep with you there, Nez. Do you like the spot for Ken Walker, even if he does go? Is he kind of a no-fly zone for you until we know more? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I definitely want to wait. I mean, you get a swap in 6-person drafts, it's no big deal, but in goal line stands, I'm waiting for sure.
Okay.
On more news on this stuff. And it's not going to get clear, I don't think, anytime soon, because I mean, Ken Walker and DK Metcalf love not practicing. So I don't think they're gonna practice, and it's gonna make things muddy.
Yeah. And I would say
Murky,
that both
rather.
these teams defenses over the last like 5 or 6 weeks, if you take out some of the early sample size stuff, both these teams defenses are playing a lot better.
Yeah. It's not this awesome fantasy game that we think. Now, could it be? Right? Could it just like come out and whiplash us and become this like awesome game?
Yeah.
I guess. I don't anticipate it though.
I mean, Kyler QB4 is scary, man. Like last week, he had his most pass attempts of the entire season. I think he had 45 of them, 17 fantasy points, 2 interceptions. Like the guy is just fixated on double XP weekend out here. Numi with the hand on the conch, hand on the controller here is telling me that it's double XP weekend on COD. I'm not betting on Kyler Murray when it's double XP weekend on COD, man. That's just simple process right there.
Numi letting us know he didn't even want to come to Dog Bowl because he wanted to get the double XP in.
Get double XP. I'm not coming to the bowl.
That's what he said,
dude. What if he's bringing the Xbox, sets it up upstairs, starts gaming out?
It's just carry on. It's just carry on the flight. Just putting it out on the TSA tray. I don't know if you know what TSA is.
Yeah, of course. Come on, man.
Double XP weekend, man. That's the alpha. Yeah, I think I'm just staying away. I think I'm just staying away from this game because I would bet the field thinks that this is an exciting NFC West matchup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, man. Let's talk about Bills, Rams. We got 2 more games here, Nez. Bills, Rams. I said it off the top. It looks like the game that jumps out. Bills might be getting Dalton Kincaid and Keon Coleman back this week, which could be nice. James Cook had a phenomenal game in the snow there. He looked like the only dude who had cleats on, and everybody else was wearing tennis shoes out there. He was cooking. Rams, man, they did something interesting. Blake Corum for the first like 5 touches of the game after Kyron had the fumble the previous week. And then they just went back to Kyron. I don't know if it was like a punishment thing, similar like OG coaching, similar to what we saw from the Giants game with the Singletary and Tyrone. I almost said it. Tyrone Tracy dynamic over there. I almost said it, Ness. I almost said it. Yeah, man. Rams, Cooper Kupp, not the best game in the world last time out, sunk a lot of lineups in the 6-persons there. Puka Nacua still found the end zone. It's pretty concentrated. Maybe Tyler Higbee comes back this week. We were anticipating him last week. The practice window had opened up, and then he didn't end up playing. Demarcus Robinson kind of banged up right now after he had the DUI thing, which was weird, but then didn't miss a game. So don't know what's going on there. But yeah, a lot of words. What do you think about this game? What sides of it? Josh Allen at ADP ?
Yeah, I don't have Josh Allen at ADP. I think I would probably maybe like 8 or 9. for me
Okay.
in
Okay.
ADP for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But I get why he is where he is, right? That's where like there's a tier break in the flex, and people don't want to like make a decision on a flex, so they'll just take Josh Allen. So I get it. I get it.
Right.
But yeah, the Bills are like interesting because they're not like as a team awesome for fantasy.
Right.
Like it's just like kind of Josh Allen, James Cook, and like we haven't seen Amari Cooper really do much for fantasy. Shakir's been okay, but like he's not winning anybody any weeks. Like you're losing money if you have these ancillary pieces in your lineup.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really been like the Josh Allen, James Cook show. And I mean, even if Kincaid is back, I'm not drafting Dalton Kincaid, man.
Yeah. I mean, the nicest thing you could say is that you juxtapose Dalton Kincaid versus like Johnny Smith and AJ Barner and Noah Fant at like the back end of that tight end, and you're getting a little bit of leverage with Kincaid because he's probably going under owned. So when you look at all the names down here, like we don't think Goddard's going to play. Kyle Pitts has ran, I think it was 6 or 7 routes in the last he had 6 or 7 targets in the last 4 games. Like it's just been abysmal. As much as I want to get excited about Kyle Pitts and the spicy margs at the Dog Bowl. But Grant Calcaterra could be one guy that you start mixing in, especially if we know Goddard can't go and Devonta Smith ends up banged up. But I'm looking down here and I'm searching for names. And when you juxtapose, Dalton Kincaid's against this tier, I could see myself taking some shots. But if I got 3 bullets in the Dog Bowl, I'm probably not building a Dalton Kincaid team unless it's just I get completely boxed out. I took Josh Allen early, and I have no stacking partners.
Yep, that's really it. So like, it's tough to like. I mean, if we get Coleman active, I would definitely draft Coleman with Josh Allen for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like it. All right, dude. Last game on the slate is going to be a very interesting talking point. We got the Niners. Niners are in absolute shambles. I think the most important piece of information we could get this week in terms of going to this game environment is Trent Williams' availability for the Niners. The splits with him on and off the field are astronomical, regardless of who's at quarterback, which wide receivers are available, which running back is available. Man, the splits, both in terms of them winning, in terms of their efficiency in the passing game and the run game, man, he just means so much to this football team. And they don't got a whole lot to play for. I mean, I think they're sneaky still in the hunt in parentheses at the bottom on the right-hand side of the Fox graphic at the very, very bottom there. But man, they're trending in the wrong direction. And this might just be, trending in lost cause season here. But I want to believe we finally get a Purdy bounce back week. I want to believe in the size speed combo of Isaac Guerendo. Levitan cites that same stat over and over again about DK Metcalf and Guerendo being the 2 fastest to size ratio players to ever come out of the draft there. And then the Bears, we just got all those DMPs in terms of the passing game, but the second half of that football game, man, they absolutely peppered the Lions through the air there. Caleb looked nice. Beautiful throw over the top there to DJ Moore. Your boy, fat Keenan Allen, was cooking. 2 touchdowns in that one. He was hungry. He was looking for that turkey leg. What do we think about this game in general, Nez?
Yeah, this is the slap out fest, dude. I think you can. I don't know that I'm super excited about Isaac Guerendo here.
Okay.
They're going to bring in a lot of other guys. I don't think we should expect a huge workload for Guerendo like we saw for
Jordan Mason.
Correct. Yeah, he's been on the team for a while. Shanahan trusts him. I would be shocked if we saw a huge workload for Guerendo, but if we do, shit, man, that's gonna be massive, right? Because the dude's big and fast, and that's how you beat the Bears is on the ground. Yeah. So he's a super tough call for me. I would love to get some coach speak from Shanahan before I make any too brash decisions on Isaac Guerendo. Yeah.
the only sample size we have this season of Isaac Guerrero kind of quote unquote leading the backfield was in the Seattle Thursday night game where Jordan Mason hurt the AC joint in his shoulder. You remember that game?
Yeah.
Thursday night, the Shipcast one that I was on there, and Jordan Mason went down, hurt his shoulder, went to the room. Then Isaac Guerrero, it was actually Patrick Taylor who came out, first guy up kind of thing. And he played to start. Then Isaac Guerrero came in. Isaac Guerrero had that huge run to ice the game down the right side of the field. It was like 65, 70 something yards, and then slid down at the goal line. He would have scored a touchdown. He was completely untouched, but he went 10 for 99. But to your point, Kyle Juszczyk banged it in at the goal line, and Patrick Taylor still had 5 carries and a reception in that one. So to your point, if they do go like a little bit more committee approach than we saw with Jordan Mason, his ADP is probably not great right now.
Yeah, just a lot of ways that can unfortunately break. But maybe, do we take one last chance on Deebo Samuel?
Is he hurt? Like, is he hurt? I don't know, man. Like, it's been tough to watch, man. They're not scheming him the same. Like, in traditionally speaking, if you had told me like, hey, their running backs have gone down, we got a 45-ish total. What is it? 43.5 right now. They're home favorites here. I would have been jumping up and down to be like, yep, we're going to get 6 targets plus 5 to 6 carries from Deebo Samuel. I would have been jumping up and down for that. I don't know, man. Between the hospitalization for the illness there, between the wrist injury that then he played through, between some of the leg stuff that took place early in the year, I can't even remember if it was ankle, calf, hammy. It was calves. Yeah, the early on. He's just been banged up all year, and I don't know. Is this the time that you push the envelope with him? Maybe one last hurrah to keep yourself in the hunt graphic. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to say yes, Nez, but I don't have a good answer for you. What do you think?
I think he's getting carries. I think he's getting carries.
Okay. I mean, ADP what right now? Let me find Deebo here. Wide receiver 22, ADP 35.6, puts him in the 4th round of dog bowls without Christian McCaffrey, without Brandon Ayuk, could get Trent Williams back, and without Jordan Mason. That is shocking. That's got to, I mean, a lot of weird things have happened this year. That's got to be up there.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider him a good play. I'm not going to say great. I would consider him a pretty good play because, I mean, we have such a large sample of Deebo being used as a running back, and other running backs are hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I think you take the chance that maybe Deebo's slightly healthier and the usage is so good for Deebo. I think people are going to like be so pissed at the guys when they release their projections and they see Deebo like, why is Deebo Samuel wide receiver 4? What is going on? Like, because he's going to touch the ball double-digit times.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. But I am excited on the Bears side of things, though. Like, very excited for the Bears side of this game.
Okay. Let's talk about Bears in half a second. I want to finish the thought on 2 things here. The guys.
It is, if you know, you know.
Picture this. A 5 Guys logo, a 5 Guys ad, not a burger, but sushi in the corner there.
You're getting too deep.
Leone's face in the middle, and then just a whole bunch of spreadsheets scattered across the burger table.
Sure.
ETR graphics team, get on it. Oh man. What about Juwan Jennings this week, Nez? Any love for the passing game? Like, San Francisco stacks are never going to be cheaper than they are right now. If you want to create yourself a San Fran double or something like that, and just bet on Shanahan, bet on the, Purdy's health transitioning, Deebo's health transitioning, and the role in which we've seen from Juwan Jennings. Even in an inept game last week, like he looked pretty solid at times there, the couple catches across the middle. of the field in the snow. Yeah, man, I wouldn't fault you if you wanted to double down, triple down on some Purdy doubles late.
Yeah, I don't want any Juwan here
Okay.
personally.
Debo or bust?
Yeah, Devo, and hopefully it's on the ground.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about the Bears side. I alluded to the Roshan concussion. I do think it really matters because in terms of goal line roles in the league, man, he's had one of the stronger ones where it was like pretty clear on paper that once the coaching staff had changed, once Khalil Herbert was gone, that it was like they get down to the goal line and it's fucking Roshan time now. If Roshan misses, man, like the way that the Niners have been walked all over in recent weeks, especially if they're missing Bosa again. Like, dude, DeAndre Swift plus goal line carries, sign me up. He'll be one of the most underpriced running backs on the slate, in my estimation. He's going to get the brunt of it all. That being said, I do like where your mind's gone with the pass game side. I prefer the pass game side for the Bears, but I think everybody does. So just walk me through affinity for the Bears here.
I mean, we know Caleb is talented. We know his receivers are talented. Maybe people don't want to, admit that Keenan Allen is a good football player. That's fine. You don't have to know ball. Not everybody needs to know ball. I mean, it's the first game without Eberflus, man. First game without Eberflus.
Yeah, good point.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it, man. Because Eberflus was a giga donk, man. Just one of the biggest donkeys we've seen in some time as a football coach. Completely inept in game decision making, and it's hard to imagine that there's not an improvement there in the X's and O's department as well.
You know what's one of the crazier career arcs in human history? Thomas Brown went from not being able to get Bryce Young to move the football to fucking anybody last year as a coordinator with the Panthers to a running backs coach. I think it's running backs coach, or he was some offensive assistant for the Bears. And in less than a calendar year, after failing at his previous job, he finds his way to OC and finds his way to interim head coach in a calendar year. Dude, that's like a best ability is availability. That's what that one is. That's like, it's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I think there's more things than the offensive coordinator wrong in Carolina last year. But,
true. Yeah, very fair. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think he's doing a good job with Caleb. I mean, he's just simply a placeholder. No point in promoting anybody else. Give this guy good experience and let him, maybe find his way into a nice position once they bring in somebody else next season. But yeah, very funny.
I commend Eberflus for doubling, tripling, quadding down on his being right while he gets fired and kicked out the door for the worst clock management.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest for like 1 second.
Yeah.
He should not have been in that press conference. Like the last press conference he was in. What are you doing? What are you doing sending this dude out?
Yeah.
Like that's cruel. That's fucked up, cruel. Man. You're about to fucking fire him and you got him out there looking like an idiot. He has to defend himself. Right. He has to. He has to save, like, it's not even saving face. It's just like, he's going to try to, and he's going to land on his feet because, all these guys do. But like, why the fuck were they saying? Like, it was so dumb, man. It was so
Once you're in the fraternity, man, like someone finds you a job somewhere where it's like, you stay alive in these circles. I mean, just ask Steve Sarkisian, man. Yeah, Alan asking Rome week here, question mark. Is the martingaling of Rome going to continue here? I think we got to save that one for the ETM bros to answer, but 10 targets, 6 targets last week there. We saw the big Keenan game. We saw DJ Moore find the end zone, maximum efficiency right now. Can we get to Rome?
I don't think so.
Okay. I respect it, dude. I respect it. That's it, Nez. That's all the games. There's a beautiful game here with almost a 50 total on Monday night, which you and I will be attending. I'm looking really forward to seeing Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb run routes in person. Just see what that looks like. I've seen CeeDee Lamb once before, but I've never seen Jamar Chase play live. So really looking forward to seeing that. Nez, do you want to start with BR or start with goal line stand?
Let's just do one and then move to hoops because if we are doing hoops.
I was just gonna not do hoops and just let you do like 5 to 10 minutes of your favorite plays, and then not draft hoops.
Yeah, let's do goal line stand.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we should do like a full hoops. But today was planned before you were going to be the hero that you were and win hoops last night, and then people care about our hoops takes today. Yeah, we got one more for goal line stand. There we go.
It is a tough one too because there's so many injuries and shit on today's slate, but
yeah. It's a crazy slate. It's a weird slate. Some back-to-backs. The Giannis probable tag on a back-to-back is never a fun one to parse through. Is it a wait for news slate or is it a get in early slate, Nez?
We got some news. I think you're good to go. I think you're good to go right now.
All right. Sounds good to me. I have not been in the hoop streets as of late today, so I actually don't know a ton about the slate. I was thinking about football all morning because this was our definitive Dog Bowl preview.
Everybody wants winners, guys. I don't know.
You don't have the answers for the people? Is Jimmy Buckets playing today?
I think so. I mean, the Heat are favored.
Okay. Respect it. I guess some of the other big ones will be like Nets usage broken up by the Cam Johnson, the Ben Simmons coming back, the DFS coming back. Does anyone care about the Nets spot against the Pacers today?
Oh, how can you not?
That one jumped out to me. Nez, Saquon Barkley goes first here. I do think it's a very interesting discussion in this this spot here, but Eileen Kamara, who do you like?
Kamara.
Okay. I think you can make a case for the HN one. I think here, let's go spin zone on the Kamara. Saints are out of it. Saints have lost Taysom Hill. Saints have already given Kamara a contract for the future. I know they're lacking all the offensive weapons in the world, but what if they just take their foot off the gas with Kamara ever so slightly and save him for the future?
Not happening.
All right.
Just straight up not happening. They don't have they don't have an offense.
Yeah.
They don't there's no offense without Alvin Kamara.
Okay.
Like, I get that sort of plays into your question, but like, no, these guys, every single personnel on that Saints team is playing to keep their careers alive. The coaches are, the players are, everybody is trying to put good tape on the field, put up good performances and box scores to help keep their careers alive. They are 100% riding Alvin Kamara. 100%.
Got it. Okay. Here's an interesting wrinkle in the chat here. We did so much with your win on the open there, Nez, that I forgot to actually bring up the team. You are getting poo-pooed and dunced on here, my friend, for Team Never Halley. He's officially been booted off the Team Never Halley because Halley takes down a slate for you.
He was on the team.
Wow. 4th round Halley, a little different, but Road Halley, Nez.
I mean, I said the spot was immaculate.
You did say that. And you did double, triple down with all your shit. The big one noting that Patrick Barnes YouTube, someone has actually finally looked up Patrick Barnes YouTube when we are watching. He has 400K subs. Yeah, man. All those videos went viral with his dog back in the day. He is way more popular than us for all the times that we just joke around about Patrick Barnes YouTube on our YouTube streams. He's a legend.
That's real.
That's real.
That's real. This dude has gone viral way more views than we'll ever get in our lifetime on one single video.
Yeah, it's awesome. We got some Dog Bowl participants in here. The aforementioned Patrick Barnes. Dan is in here as well. We got Best Ball Viper hanging out. We got Chad hanging out. These are some big time participants in the Dog Bowl this weekend here. So start collecting your knowledge here, gents. Seeing what your opponents are doing. Asset going for the Buffalo stack off the start there that puts those two together. I was going to ask you, Nez, like Tyreek goes here with Bucky. I was going to ask, in your goal line stand history versus what we'll see in the Dog Bowl, is the Achan drafter getting Tua to fall back to him, or is someone on the other side of the board doing the Tyreek Tua almost every time?
I haven't done like a ton of goal line stands
Sure. Yeah.
to really know that,
Okay.
but I would think in dog bowls you'll get Tua to come back.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting debate there.
Because like last year, I was like, I really thought QB would go early, and I think there were like
Yeah.
much better QB spots as well
Sure.
last season. I don't see that this year. I don't see a reason for people. I think we're either gonna stick to what they've done all season in dog bowl qualifiers,
Yeah.
and likely push QB. I think it'll be a waiting game at QB, and I think that's how it should be.
Yeah, Chad's agreeing with you that he's saying Tua is falling back the majority of the time.
Yeah, Chad's been in here. Yeah, Chad knows.
That feels like a pretty nice, fun start to me. If I could do the Achan Tua right there, I mean Dan doesn't even do it there, but that Achan Tua start feels kind of nice to me. Nez, what tickles your fancy here after we go with Kamara?
Wow, these options. I mean, I don't.
I kind of think that, dude. I was about to say I like Judy Njoku.
Yeah, dude, these are not standing out. Nothing's really standing out to your boy there.
I kind of like setting up the Jameis double, man. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it makes sense, right? They're dogs in this game. They've been letting Jameis sling it. He almost threw for 500 yards. Just take Jameis and his pass catchers. I think that's a pretty easy way to find yourself above the cash line this week.
Yeah. We probably should have taken Njoku first because this guy goes ahead and takes Njoku. I anticipate the Walker Q tag, but I think the swaps will be pretty clean because I don't think anyone else will take Sharps. And Sharps without Walker, we got that like 90% roll. That could be epic. You liked the Chicago passing. I think I like Brees, even though the roll wasn't amazing last week.
You can take Brees, but like I don't love it.
You don't like it?
Not really, man.
Okay.
Not really. But that could just be me being way too like recency biased.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really love what's been going down with the Jets and with Brees Hall in general. I don't know, man. I still think Brees Hall is like a very talented player.
Sure. Yep.
I think we might have jumped the shark a little bit on how talented Brees Hall is.
I could see that. They used Isaiah Davis over him in the pass catching role last week. There was 0 catches for Brees Hall. Isaiah Davis had, rookie played, some of his first snaps of the season. I guess he had 1-2 other carries or whatever this season, but he had the designed play in the red zone there that resulted in the touchdown for 28 yards. Braylon Allen mixed in for 2 catches and 5 carries there. Maybe it was a Brees Q tag thing. They knew he was banged up all week long. They wanted to be a little more rotational with their running backs. And now we kind of like, okay, he was good. Let's get back to Brees being Brees this week. Or they might just be trying to see what they have in some of these other pieces right now. Yeah, the Brees click. Yeah, that one didn't feel great. You are correct.
I mean, yeah, the ADP is there. It's just like, was running backs production is so predicated on volume. I understand that. And like, this is obviously like a proxy victory lap for being on Bijan Robinson in best ball. But so much of Brees Hall's production was just because like Zach Wilson was hitting him for checkdowns 10 times a game last year.
Yeah.
And
32 carries in those final 2 games, or the final game of the season there, a meaningless garbage game that they just pumped all those carries to him, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Obviously this is like, a little bit of a victory lap, but what is it?
I got the comp. Brees Hall, David Johnson.
Oh man. David Johnson better.
Ooh, I don't know. David Johnson had like that 1.5 good year stretch. Then all of a sudden he was a first rounder the following year. Then he got hurt, and then it was Jover.
David Johnson was better. David Johnson was so good.
I don't know. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I thought it was like almost complimentary comp. Like I thought it was fine. All right.
No, I mean complimentary for Brees, of course.
Yeah. It's kind of how I intended it. Okay, two things. Keep filling up these goal line stands. Sup to Asset hanging out with us here. Brees turned into Fancy Najee. Ooh. Spicy. Okay, couple things I wanted to note, Nez. Some ADPs that are popping out to ya boy. Malik Neighbors in the 3rd round. Right here feels good. DK Metcalf, if he is full or whatever, but he's going to have a Q tag and he's going over JSN. The anticipatory Q tag with Ken Walker, he's going to be a fine pick in the 3rd round if he plays football this week. But then if you get the Q tag, no one else is going to take Sharps. That 1-for-1 swap is jumping off the page to me. Probably won't pertain to the Dog Bowl because we'll have more news by then. But if you're doing goal line stands early in the week right now, Sharps and the hashtag models, if we get no Ken Walker, based on the role he had in the past of the 95% snaps and the usage that we saw when Walker was previously out, people are going to love Sharps this week, and Sharps is going to be RB 8 or 9. So if you want to play that angle, absolutely. The other ones I'll point out as that we had previously talked about. Deebo Samuel still on the board right now. All the San Francisco stuff outside of Kittle and Garendo still on the board right now. That jumps out. And Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, like these guys, like just from name value, still on the board here. So just some shit that I'm noticing, this being my first goal line stat.
Yeah. I would definitely consider Deebo here, but I don't know exactly how far he falls. So It's probably a reach, but I like Deebo.
We got to fill. We only got one more flex spot anyways. So yeah, I mean, and it gives us another stacking out to the Jameis. Like this looks like a Jameis team right now, but it doesn't have to be a Jameis team. It could be a Purdy team. It could be a Derek Carr team. It could be an Aaron Rodgers team. Yeah. Chad saying that there's also a reason you might want to think about grabbing Sharps before the injury reports. Yeah, not terrible idea. I like playing the Q tag game and getting the swap so you don't have a dead roster spot if it ends up that way. But the CLV mindset of our hoops drafts is always, take a guy in the last round there who could steam up in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, the CLV does feel nice, but also it's pretty damn risky.
Yeah. Nez, I think you're going to tell me to take Deebo Samuel right here.
I mean, maybe Addison, but okay. You can only do one of these guys.
Yeah.
Let's do Deebo. Let's do Deebo.
Yeah. Let's have some fun. Dude, these names are kind of fun to click down here. We still got Juwan Jennings. We still got Addison. We got Brian Thomas. I could tell myself a story about the slop it up game of the week. A little Mac Jones, Brian
Garrett
Thomas.
Wilson below Nick Westbrook-Akine.
Dude, Garrett Wilson, 10 targets. He just missed a touchdown that he was overthrown on last week.
That's
10 targets,
wild.
8 targets there.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is wild. And speaking of which, he gets drafted ahead of him there. I would not be doing that, but such is the landscape of these games right now. I'm going to change my tune a little bit here, Nez. I'm going to change my tune.
Okay.
Dude. I think in the goal line stand versus the Dog Bowl, Dalton Kincaid's kind of a fine pick here. But I do want to take your Juwan Johnson pick here with the Kamara.
Yeah, I'd rather do that.
Yeah. Freiermuth had a pretty nice role last week, but a lot of it was predicated on the fact that they threw the ball so many effing times. Now, if we get that similar game script in a back and forth environment here with our Jerry Jeudy one, maybe a little game stack there would have felt better than, cannibalizing ourselves with 2 New Orleans touchdown scorers potentially. But Yeah. Thoughts on the Muth?
Nice game last week. Real nice game
Yeah.
last week. Calvin Austin banged up. He might have to
Good shout
find
on the
his way
Calvin.
into some targets there.
Yeah.
So I like it. I like it more than I usually do. I'm normally not really into Freiermuth. I didn't really take a lot of him in best ball. I think I can understand the case here.
Yeah. Yeah, Wilson, the Wilson one. Lou Dog saying Westbrook Akita's a lock for 9 points. Absolutely, just book that touchdown in there.
Yeah. It's 6.5 minimum.
Yeah. Eli asking why we're anticipating a Q tag on Ken Walker. Because he limped off the field last week, and then they ended up using Sharps more to the tail end of the football game and used Sharps at the goal line after said limp off. I don't know how serious it could be. It was just a note. I'm just anticipating he doesn't practice today, and then he gets slapped with a Q tag tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what we're anticipating.
Yeah. Nick Chubb still going in these drafts. Amari 29-29 takes Nick Chubb.
Probably not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're betting on game environment and that sort of thing, and we've noted that the Steelers against the run, not as good as the paper might suggest. They're really good at blitzing though. Good defensive line. But yeah, I mean, Jerome Ford just looked like he had that juice a little bit more compared to him on Monday night. Did he not?
Yeah, I think so, man. It's tough.
Yeah. Adam Thielen should have had one touchdown that was called back because they didn't challenge it, and then ended up scoring another one after. Never wrong, just early, Nez.
Famously. That's our guy, Adam Thielen, man. Don't really love him in this spot, but
no. Yeah. Keon Coleman was swapped there. Chad getting ahead of it and taking the Zach Sharp stuff in the last round there. What do we think Brian Thomas Jr. projection looks like this week? I think he's going to be a big time riser. He's a 6th round pick right now. I thought he looked good with Mac Jones last time out. I think he's a very talented wide receiver. Easy suggesting it'd be about 10.4 fantasy points. What do you think, Nez?
Against the Titans,
this would be a very good bit.
It's going to be like 9 something.
Yeah, it's a very good bit here. If Easy just told him the projection that was on the site. No, 10.8. Okay, fine. That's funny.
No, I think it'll be single digits.
Yeah.
It's things are just so bleak. I can't believe Peterson still has a job.
T. Pistala doing the Garando plus JJ, and then doing the game environment stack with the Will Levis to Calvin Ridley and Evan Ingram. Don't hate it, dude. I don't mind the Will Levis Evan Ingram shit. Or I mean, Will Levis Calvin Ridley shit.
I like the game stack. Yeah, I like the game stack. That's fun.
Amari took Naked Purdy from us for some reason.
Good job.
Something, I guess. Yeah, but we're playing Debo to get rushing yards anyways, and we want Famous Jameis on this team as is. So Famous Jameis.
Wow, Russ Wilson, undrafted.
Yeah. Shocking development.
Whoa.
Hey, who'd they bring in to ice the game last week? Can you? My memory's a little foggy, and I don't have internet access. Can you tell me who they brought in to ice the game last week?
Let me check my spreadsheets here. All I have is the GOAT.
The GOAT. They brought in the GOAT to ice the game.
Oh my God. How fucking awesome is that? They have a closer. Like, they need to do like Mariano Rivera Enter Sandman shit whenever it's Justin Fields time. And he just comes out just to run that option that he's 100% not giving up. He's keeping and just getting that first down.
They play the trumpets as he comes in from center field. Like every time.
That'd be so awesome.
Every time Justin Fields runs the on runs on the field at what is it called now? Now that it's not Heinz Field.
Acrisure, the
Oh,
sure.
nah, it's always going to be Heinz. Just like the Mariners are always going to be Safeco. Just like Lumen Field doesn't exist for the Seahawks.
Hey, buddy, hold on.
Uh-huh.
We got to pump those Acrisure bags because my brother-in-law works for Acrisure.
Okay? Oh shit, we got to get.
They ended up buying my dad and my brother-in-law work. Well, my dad's retired, but they worked at this like boutique insurance company, and then Acrisure, they're just buying up all these companies. They bought them, so we got to pump the bags. You got to make sure that we call it by its name. The
the sure
Acrisure for the good of my nieces and their futures. Gotta bump up that Acrisure stock.
Nez, let me tell you what I'm Acrisure about. Is it's that every time Justin Fields touches the football on that field, I see the scene from The Dark Knight with the ground exploding. Heinz Ward, no. I see Justin Fields sprinting to the end zone with the field exploding behind him.
And all the haters and losers falling into the depths.
All right, Nez, we roll the 101. I think, as you like to say, with a bullet this week, it is the flattest 101 we have seen this season of the 1.1, and I don't think people should deviate. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Could you imagine like taking Garrett Wilson over Saquon Barkley in best ball?
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Things we were really doing.
Fuck, man.
We all
Drake
did.
London, Puka Nacua. Some people were doing Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle over Saquon. Oh my God. That's the worst. That's the worst one. Drake London's an alpha. He's gonna I'm gonna love that discount on Drake London next season. Oh, Jalen Waddle over Saquon. That's a thing. That was a thing. I can't read that comment. What is it?
It was broken. It got erased from the internet. Don't worry.
I couldn't read that one.
Shout out to Riley Taylor who jumped in here, aka Respooked, who had a second place finish over the weekend in the main BR there, runner up to Rotosurgeon. Yeah, mad respect there. Getting back in the BR streets early here and taking a little bit of your advice there, Nez, that Bijan is game script proofed and he is available at the 104 and he pounced on it.
I love it. I mean, I will say, like, my NFL game is not quite as sharp as my hoops game. So, take it all with a grain of salt. I'm trying my goddamn best here. But, Oh, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. over Saquon at the turn. Jahmyr Gibbs over Saquon, which is, Gibbs has been nice, but it's still, still another one where it was like, we knew it'd be a double backfield. We know, interesting stuff. Man, Bucky Irving all the way up at 10 now. Bucky Irving, shout out Pete's Best Ball Bags. Hopefully he can make use of Bucky Irving, I believe is his highest owned player. Nez, is this a bit of a GM this week by pairing Jalen Hurts with Saquon Barkley?
Yeah.
I think it might be.
It's fun.
Okay.
Fuck it. Why don't they just go ape shit?
I kind of want to take Kyron here because I'm the Kyron Bull guy, and then we figure the rest out. But I'll hear you out on anybody else, dude.
Take Kyron, but jump. The contradiction of you is just absurd. How cue him up? Take Kyron. How can you be a Kyron Bull, but hate on Kareem Hunt? They're the same guys. They're the same guys.
No.
Oh, buddy. Come on. What is Kyron Williams an exemplary talent? Is he the what? Kyron Williams is a Los Angeles Ram usage merchant.
I know he is. You're right. The team plays faster. He catches more passes than yeah.
I think you and I have caught more passes than Kyron Williams over the last 3 weeks.
In recent memory, since all the wide receivers have been back. You were right. Yeah, he is a volume merchant, and he is just falling into the end zone. And if he doesn't fall into the end zone, he's irrelevant. You're right.
I just need to I just need to call you out when you're gonna contradict yourself, John, and you're gonna say, I mean, I get it, right? Kareem Hunt is not very good, but he's good for fantasy. Dude, Kyron stinks.
Yeah, he might stink. He might. Oh man. Yeah, 1 catch for 9 yards last week, his first in 3 weeks.
You know what? Go ahead.
He was the last starting running back in all of football to have a carry greater than 9 yards this season. I don't know how they deem starting running back, but I kept that one under my chest and never said it out loud.
Whoa. And you know what sucks is like, you know, if you knew all this, like you would be probably thrilled with your Blake Corum bags. Like,
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like Kupp's healthy, Stafford's healthy, Kyron sucks. Like my Corum bags are cooking.
They must be. Surely. That's the John Boy Beats meme in the Discord there. Nez.
Yo.
Malik Neighbors and Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, scroll down. Look at how far you got to scroll for Deebo. Holy shit.
We're fucking scrolling this week, dude. We're scrolling. Malik Neighbors, Deebo Samuel, betting on talent. Betting on Deebo Samuel, availability is your best ability sometimes.
Yeah.
And then we're scrolling the F down at tight end as well.
I was just checking just to see if I had any Blake Corum teams advancing. I don't. Imagine the flipping happening like right at fantasy playoff time. God, that would just be something else.
I know so many people do the look back at your BBM stuff, look back at your whatever. I haven't looked at anything all year long. I have no idea what my advance rates. I have no idea what any of it is. I'm going to look on Sunday together at the Dog Bowl because we're inundated with the daily stuff. We're playing baseball, we're playing basketball, we're playing football. I don't have the mental capacity to be sweating those teams as well. If you're just a best ball guy and you just play those, all the power to you. I'd be sweating it. I'd be looking at the combos. You know, Liam's doing shows and they're looking at, you know, the combos of their shit. I'll do that stuff in the off season. I'll do that to fill content when the daily stuff is gone. You know what I mean? But I'm very interested to go back and look and be like, what was I doing? What was I doing that was wrong? What was I doing that was smart? And do it through the lens of not being results oriented. Not being like, oh, Saquon went Burr. That was so obvious, right? I want to know why we didn't take Saquon and what the thesis associated with other stuff that we did, and then talk through the builds in which I had Saquon. Were those good or bad? And you know,
it's so hard not to be results oriented, but you can't be. But I think playing dailies so much definitely makes it easier to not be. So, you know, it's easier to shrug it off, but for some people you can't. Like I get it. Like it's hard to not just like beat yourself up, but you can't. You can't.
Yeah. Goat Hop Grower goating it up right there and taking Sharps here. This is one isolated instance where I wouldn't take Sharps in the 6 persons. I would just take Walker and I would take him at 30 because you get priority at swapping at 30 more so than 31. And then I would swap into Sharps. I think it's a little too early in the week to just be taking Sharps because the swaps are going to be free in the future. That being said, if other people swap in or out of it, you might be hung out. Nez, I was going to take your Juwan Johnson here, but I'll hear you out.
I think you go Hawkinson. I don't know, man. We scrolled down already, and we didn't get it. Did we get it? There's no way. You're gonna have to pop out the draft board. Pop out the draft board. There's no way.
Right. Let's see how fast these fingers are. Fastest fingers in the Pacific Northwest. Many are saying we got Juwan Johnson.
That's okay.
We got Juwan Johnson.
It's not like it's a horrible pick.
Nez, after doing this whole show together, after walking through it all, I like this slate this week. I really like this slate. I thought I was going to hate it. I thought it was going to be gross. I thought the teams on bye were going to make it gross. I thought the teams that were on Thursday night and Sunday night taking some talent out of the player pool were going to make it really gross. I kind of like this slate. I'll be man enough to say it. I do think there's a little...
It took a show. It took a show.
yeah, it took a show, and I hope the field feels the same. It takes a show, it takes, talking it through together and then pushing into it, and then we'll get some projections tonight, and then we'll figure the shit out. I do understand people's apprehension on slates that look like these, where they think the 101 is so powerful. The overarching 101 cannot be beaten because he's in a smash spot. 101 hasn't mattered once this season yet. Period. On any slate we have played. The 101.
I mean, I'm not going to fact check you on that.
Just trust me, Nez. I got the fucking stats right here, okay? I'm running the S words every night.
I just definitively said the one you actually lose money with the 101 this season. Yeah. No, I mean, especially in BRs, man, you have two shots. You got a 50-50 chance. You can have A-Chain or Chimera. That's a nice way to counterbalance that. Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Like, and just because it looks like one way doesn't mean it's going to be one way. But that's just how I'm choosing to play.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Steve's saying the same thing, man. Once we've talked it through, done a few drafts, it does feel like a nice slate. Yeah, I'm getting really excited for Dawg Bowl. I'm getting really excited based on everything we've done here. Nez, we got 3 or 4 minutes here to milk the clock, not actually milk the clock, but just the people are going to want a couple flash takes from you, from the champ, for NBA this evening. Oh, oops, my bad. I'll go back here. You want me to ask the questions, or do you just want to like riff?
Let me just look at these odds real quick, dude.
Okay, I can do that for you. We got the Giannis P turned into a Q while we were doing stream there. Celtics are 14-point favorites with a 2-2-1 total versus the Pistons. It's a 6-game slate. We got a littered Brooklyn Nets injury report, but pace-up environment against the Pacers. Hallie, who never Hallie, won you a slate last night on the back-to-back there. Heat, Jimmy Buckets Q tag, lowest total on the slate, or second lowest total on the slate versus the Lakers. 76ers have no PG tonight. Orlando on a back-to-back after Suggs had a tough night last night. Wagner had a medium night by his standards. Hawks and Bucks with Q tag on Giannis. And then T-Wolves, 3-point favorites versus the Clippers. Clippers on a back-to-back. They're playing the late game yesterday. What do you got?
Well, I haven't been in these drafts much since we've been, we're doing this stuff. But Giannis is probable.
Oh, why does it say? Look, check this out. I don't know. I got a Giannis Q on the site. Let me give it a refresh.
No, you're right.
Probable for Wednesday. Now, are they anticipatory giving us the Q because we treat the probable tag like a Q?
Because it's a meme?
Yeah, because it's a meme now. Is it a meme on the site?
I don't know.
Official injury report, probable. Huh. Windhurst.
He's playing the Hawks. I mean, he's the 101. And it's just like, it's not close. It's not close.
Okay. All right. What did he end up playing last night?
20. He didn't play the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't play the fourth at all. Fucking SGA not playing the fourth. Oh my God. I was big mad about that. He was about to nuke the slate, bro. The Giannis one was clear as day that he wouldn't play the fourth. The SGA one was like, come on. 27 minutes. 27 minutes after they win the NBA Cup game yesterday. You think he goes tonight?
My man Giannis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you got Giannis in right now. What do you got for Celtics stuff with Tatum?
I think Tatum plays.
Okay.
I think they basically all play. Okay. They're huge favorites.
They got Q-Tag, Holiday, and then nobody else right now too.
Yeah, I think they play unless, and this is like, a page out of your book. If we get a late out on Cade, then we might see the Celtics follow suit.
Yeah. I also think, given how big of favorites they are and the fact that Tatum played those 2 big minute games back to back while the other guy sat, it could finally be Tatum rest night. But I'm not about to start making a stand on that in my drafts yet.
No, I thought Tatum would sit at first, and then he was at shoot around. And we still have news, we still have news on anybody sitting. So as of right now, I'm playing him in.
Okay, interesting. And then, this is interesting too. UD has a tag on Porzingis as well. Official injury report as of 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Keep an eye on it. No Q tag on Zinger on that one. So interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, something funky up with some Q tags right now on the site. I'll give it a refresh and we'll see. Because normally they always just follow suit with what's on the NBA injury report. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a Fugazi. Fugazi might be able to get a little bit of CLV on Zinger. So there's your alpha as of right now, where Giannis is probable, not Q. Zinger doesn't even have a designation according to the official injury report here. Yeah. Okay, cool. Cade doesn't have a designation, but I do understand your Windhurst on that one. I do. I like
back
that
to
show.
back. He just came back recently off an injury. We really got to play this safe. Everybody else is playing it safe too, so it makes sense. Like this is the ADP of somebody that people are worried about sitting.
Okay. The first one that jumped out to me is Jared McCain's ADP is going to be wrong right now, right? I know Orlando's, Orlando's matchup's going to be, obviously bad and it's going to be paced down and whatever. But he didn't play a shit ton last night and he didn't close. And now all of a sudden you have no PG, you have no Drummond, you have no Embiid, you have no Love, like how I listed those two. Yeah, and Maxey has this super high ADP after being a free throw merchant at the end of the game last night. Maxey was not having a good basketball game until the bitter end there. That McCain one jumps out to me. Any other ADPs you wish to point out and or spots that you're trying to get to, Nez?
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson. There you go. You're down with the hashtag models. Nez knows best when it comes to JJ.
How can you not want Jalen Johnson against the Bucks? I don't know, man. I don't know. Couldn't be me. Could not be me. I will take him right behind Trae Young.
Okay. Respect it, dude.
Yeah, I think Jimmy plays too. So you're getting a discount on Jimmy because he got the Q tag and he just missed. I do think that he plays. Not 100% at all, but I think that he plays. I think all these Lakers are safe too, and I like LeBron. I like LeBron over Tatum, Q or not. I just don't think this LeBron slump's going to last. So give me some LeBron, and then
I got Lakers official injury report right now is probable Anthony Davis. Jackson Hayes is still out. Bronny obviously still out. Austin Reeves has already been ruled out with that pelvic thing that when he landed hard. Vanderbilt Wood still out, and then Hood Schifino questionable tag, which basically just plays into backup handling role for him versus Gabe Vincent. They probably start D'Lo again, right? That went pretty well last time out. Do the D'Lo connect Rui, LeBron, AD lineup? That's kind of what I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, are people getting to D'Lo tonight? They must be because of how short the slate is. But where's D'Lo going?
Yeah, he's like he's back there, but people are taking him.
Yeah, I'm about to start pairing some D'Lo and Jared McCann together. Not financial advice. Do you have a lean on the Cam Johnson? He was sat last time after the coach speak stuff indicated, like he was saying, "Oh, my ankle, and I'll play through it," that sort of thing, and then he didn't end up playing through it. Is there anyone on the Nets that you like at the back end, like Shake Milton, Keon Johnson, anything like that?
I like Nick Claxton.
Okay. Going back to Claxwell.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cam Johnson because it's a free pick if he misses, and if he plays, he's a smash.
I like it. Yeah, I respect that, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, Claxton with the 24 last time out, 24, 27, 25. We talked about how they could rotate 3 bigs and Darren Sharp come in, blah, blah, blah. Okay, not doing a full. I said it right. I said McCain.
I thought you said McCain too.
Yeah, come on, get off my ass, man. I know how to say it. TikTok boy.
Maybe they want you to hit your quota. I don't know.
Yeah, TikTok boy from here on out. All right, dude. Anyone? Okay. Here's a good way to close the show here, Nez. Johnny Footballs is asking. We need the Nez Alpha favorite pick each round, rapid fire. I imagine from the top 6, from the top 12, and whatever. Drop them as you see them.
Sorry, I need to do what?
Your favorite pick per round for tonight.
Well, I like Giannis.
That checks out. Round 2.
Let's do Jalen Johnson.
Okay. Round 3.
Round 3. Let's do Schroeder.
Interesting. Okay. So you like that? You like the pace up environment of the Nets, irregardless of Cam Johnson going. Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, next one here. I think you're going to say Jimmy Buckets here, right?
He's like a little too. Let's
too close together.
Yeah, let's do Dyson Daniels.
Okay, you like the Dyson Daniels spot tonight?
Yeah, let's throw him in there at number 4.
The flow chart. We're still doing Bucks flow chart?
Absolutely.
Okay. Wow, that sucks, ADP.
And then let's do Cam Johnson here.
Okay.
And then we'll add an extra pick because Cam Johnson might swap. Jared McCain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Nick Claxton.
All right. Respect it, dude. I like that. There's Nez's definitive picks. I'd throw D'Lo in the bunch there. But that McCain one sticks out like a sore thumb right now, as he's going to be projection darling to push. The other one that I was thinking about is Orlando Biggs, dude. Any love? Like Goga left early last night.
Well,
Any love?
Why he got scratched?
Oh, right. Yeah, he got scratched at tip. That's what it was.
I need to know more.
Okay.
I need to know more because once we get Goga in or out, then I am interested in these Magic bigs. And it's interesting. Wendell Carter Jr. plays 19 minutes against the Knicks. They got their asses beat. So, we get more Mo Wagner run. If Goga's out, maybe we go to Wendell Carter Jr. here and we get 28 minutes from Wendell Carter Jr. I like these bigs, obviously.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I just need to know more about Goga. If Goga's in, then it's Goga. You could probably just do Goga and then swap.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I respect it all, dude. Yeah, there's a propensity to play small against the Sixers too, because they've been playing Yabu at the 5 in recent memory, and he's obviously undersized, was out of the league for a while, came back, resurgence in his career. Yeah, if you want to play Mo and play small, you definitely could, but it seems like ADP is already there on that idea. So yeah. Did you see the Caldwell Pope, just while we're talking Orlando, Caldwell Pope narratives about his, I guess it was his 6th or 7th child being born, and the kid's name's Knowledge, and it's cleared his head up to shoot more? Really? Yeah. So he was like worried about it or whatever before, and then last game he comes out and he just starts icing it, and he was knocking down shots, and it just kind of drowns Suggs the last 2 times out because he was making buckets.
I did not know that.
Yeah, kind of funny. All right, Nez, let's tie a bow. It's Mookie said he's just duping it there. Nobody wants KCP to shoot more other than KCP, bro.
No one's ever asked him to shoot more.
Yeah. We still got like 250 of us hanging out. Hit us with a like, a subscribe, a notification bell. If you happen to be on the X and or Twitterverse side, just pop on over, give us that like, subscribe. Consider joining up and becoming a member. We already did one paywall stream yesterday for the hoop stuff, and then sure as shit, Nez takes down the hoop slate thereafter. pays dividends to pay attention to the behind the closed doors stuff there. We are fast approaching 400 members. I think it's like 380 something right now. So much love and respect to all of you who have joined up and continue to support. Tomorrow, very special guest. The Wood is going to be coming on. Scott. He's been making the NBA leaderboards and some live sweat tools. We'll walk through those. Very cool app that he has built for the community and very cheap price point, very affordable. If you're playing hoops, there's no reason not to have it. But yeah, we'll walk through that with him tomorrow. We will walk through the NBA slate tomorrow, and then Dog Bowl Friday. We will be doing a live show, all of us together with Pete. I'll get some graphics up, get a time up for you guys, but it's trending about 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern on that one, pending on, getting the setup, getting the Airbnb, blah, blah, blah. So, bear with us on that. Nez, any parting words for the people?
You're not going to want to miss the live Dog Bowl because we're premiering our stinger for the pick'ems. And that's like 10 seconds or so, but it's awesome.
The 10-second sizzle reel.
Oh my god, dude!
I still can't believe it ended the way it did. I didn't even. Oh yeah, it's good. It's very good. There's a couple phrases that we didn't even know we said that found their way in there. All right. On behalf of the champ, Nez, I am Jon, the inferior badge bro, and this is everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. Appreciate you guys. Hit the like. Oh, Mr. Giveaway knows it's time. Did you hear that?